All right. Hey, Stephen, here's a question by Richard Brown. He wants to know, what is the status of the Edmonson amendment that increased his retirement? Is the State Police Retirement Board or anyone else going to challenge the amendment in court?
So let's move on to a different subject, one that you were certainly outspoken about, and that deals with the State Police Retirement Fund. Now, you wrote an op-ed about it, and basically what you said was, well, you asked questions. You were real concerned about it, and some things have happened since that op-ed. Number one, the State Police Superintendent has said that he's not going to take the increase in retirement amount, and the governor has actually said, I think yesterday, that he's against the legislation that he signed and approved.
Right.
So I'm just wondering, are you going to go further with you had requested a hearing, the State Retirement Board, am I correct?
Yes.
And what's going on with that?
We have to go forward, and here's why. And this isn't about personalities. I know Colonel Edmonson well. He's a fine person. This has nothing to do with personalities. The State Police Retirement System, on whose board I sit as a trustee with a fiduciary duty to taxpayers, has a deficit of $327 million. That's how much they're in the hole. We asked to get the facts about this bill. We just got the facts in a report that's been published. What the report found, and I think we know the facts, that in the waning days of the legislative session, in a closed-door meeting, an amendment was added to a bill that would give only two troopers, special treatment. And it would cost the retirement system somewhere in the neighborhood of between $300,000 and $1 million. I felt like and feel like that was wrong for two reasons. First, the cost. I already explained we have a deficit. Second, fairness. I don't care whether you're a prince or a pauper or a king or a pawn. You're supposed to be treated equally with everybody else. And this was a case, it's clear, of giving special treatment. Colonel Edmonson and the other trooper involved have said they're not going to take the benefit, but they reserve the right to come back to the legislature next spring. The governor originally said nothing about it, but recently yesterday said, okay, I knew about the bill, but I didn't know it just affected two people. I think what we need to do as fiduciaries to protect this system is to get this law off the books. It's still on the books. It's going to be on the books until it's taken off, and our lawyers say it's unconstitutional. And what I'd like to do is file a declaratory judgment and get a court of final jurisdiction to say that, and then we don't have anything to fight over anymore or disagree about. If we don't do that, you're just assuming that the legislature will be asked to repeal this law, and frankly, I'm not prepared to assume that right now.
You know, one thing that gets me is that the bill did not have a fiscal note. Am I correct?
They had one, but they added it 3 days after the legislative session.
3 days after, and the governor signed it with the fiscal note. So even though he might have known about Edmonson actually being one of the two people, he didn't look at the fiscal note to see, well, this is only $300,000?
Well, we've asked at our September 4th, that's a good question, Steve. We've asked at our meeting on September 4th for the governor's executive council to be there. Mr. Thomas Enright, he's a fine lawyer. He recommended the governor sign the bill. I don't know if Thomas is going to come, but we've asked him to come. But this issue is pretty straightforward. There's special treatment has been given, and that's not only illegal, it's morally wrong, and we need to fix it. Now, this is about ethics, morality, if you will, honesty with taxpayers. You either believe in ethics or you don't. You know, it doesn't do any good to talk the talk if you're not willing to walk the walk. And, you know, religion is what you do in your life after the sermon's over. Okay? We can all give sermons and listen to sermons, but religion is what you do about it. It's your actions. And the action that it's clear to me that we need to take if we truly believe this was wrong is to go get the law declared unconstitutional. And then we don't need to worry about what the legislature is going to do or what some future legislature is going to do. We'll get this bad law off the books, and that's what we ought to do. And I'm hoping the governor, I take him at his word that he didn't know it just impacted 2 people. I hope he'll join with us to file this lawsuit.
One last question, Common Core. The courts, at least one of the judges yesterday, has ruled it went against the administration, and so the Common Core is proceeding in Louisiana along with the PARC exam. And I'm just wondering, do you think we're going to see some kind of end to this big debate here in Louisiana that is now percolated nationwide, with Governor Jindal actually making it a major issue? I'm just wondering, what's your take on it?
I don't think we'll see the end of the debate. My understanding of the lawsuit is that the ruling of the court was that the preliminary injunction would not be granted. And of course, you're a lawyer, which you and I both know what that means is the governor had gone into court and said, stop the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education from implementing Common Core, and I want an injunction. The court has said, no, I'm not going to give you an injunction right now. I may give you an injunction later, but I'm going to conduct a trial first. I think the trial, don't hold me to this, is scheduled within the next month or so. But that's when all the lawyers will come present their evidence. What's going to happen, I don't know. Whatever does happen will be appealed to the Supreme Court. So I think this issue is going to be on the table for a long time.